Hey everybody, I'm Monty, and Channel 5 is reporting that even on Christmas, turkey trumps ham in terms of favorite family meat to eat.
Interesting. I agree with that. I am Doda, and Channel 5 is reporting that Coca-Cola helped create Santa's iconic image. The original Santa Claus was thin and dressed in animal skin, but Coca-Cola helped create the modern image of Santa.
And really, I guess Coca-Cola is pretty old. I didn't think about that. I was about to say that's too modern, but I guess they do go back a little bit. I'll say this, I am more of a ham. I don't eat turkey. I'm not a big turkey person, like Thanksgiving turkey, and I don't really eat ham, but I will eat ham on Thanksgiving and Christmas, but that's it. But yeah, Coca-Cola, I guess, an animal skin. What does that mean? What was he, a fur trapper or something? Like he was in the wilderness?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Guys, I'm sorry, y'all gotta make sure I got my days right. This is day 6 on the 12 days of podcast, and I told y'all I was gonna start having some guests. I got some guests lined up, and we're gonna get toward the end all the way to Christmas. And our first guest is, I mean, she's been on the show. She's more so been behind the scenes most of the time. I did help cultivate her to a lucrative career, and we're going to talk more about that career pretty soon, and where she's going with it. But she got her chops here on the Mighty Sharp Network. But Doda is with us. How's it going, DODA?
Surviving and thriving. How are
Survive.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. So we're going to get to some things that she has for us in terms of ear candy that's coming up. But I wanted to talk with her because it's perfect timing about kind of, since forever, there's always been a generation that did this and that in terms of the workforce. And for a while, um, really, really a little before my time, but in America, there were steel mills and there was auto industries, and you used to be able to get out of high school or not even graduate high school really and go right to work at a factory, and you could literally support a family on that job. And that's all you had to do. You work with your hands, and that was it. And then, of course, with technology and outsourcing and so many other things, factories went away, and people had to start evolving and trying to figure out more ways to work. And now, as we get into 2020, well, about to be 2025, even more so with AI and so many other things that are kind of threats to what we have gotten accustomed to, and people get very nervous and agitated when that happens. It's hard for the workforce now. And so Doda is Gen Z, and that is the crew that's really kind of out of college, just about, or getting through it or done with college in the workforce now, and they're really experiencing that shift more so than anybody else in terms of this newer move. Like I said, I remember when the plants started kind of closing up and there was a panic then, and now her generation, there was a whole writer's strike, and we talked about that a couple weeks ago with Shinobi about what that was about. And a lot of people that are, in Hollywood were nervous because of the AI stuff. So I brought her on because I want to know, she just got a new job, but what was it like in terms of you trying to transition in terms of your old job, and how hard was it for you to find this new job you're at now?
Um, I honestly don't consider my other jobs real jobs just because it wasn't like a traditional 9 to 5 full-time situation because I was in school, so it was hard to have a full-time job. So I've always had part-time jobs while I was in school. Um, but the transition from that to a real, full-time job, I think it wasn't too difficult just because I think school was in the way. And then having that now out of the way kind of just opens up that time for me. As far as like the difficulty of getting the job, I would say that applying for jobs right out of college is really difficult because most businesses on their websites or whatever, Indeed, whatever you go on, they're like, you have to have 3 to 5 plus years of experience in that field. And it's really difficult to get that when you were just in school. So it's like, how can, and even entry level positions, I was just talking to somebody about this. I'm like, entry level positions require you to have time put into that specific field. And it's like, how could I have done that if I was in college for 4 years? There's no way I could have gotten a full-time job and had experience in that area. So honestly, what I did in my interview, it's something that I brought up to my interviewer. I was like, in the industry we're in now, like I really do need somebody to take a chance on me because if you don't take a chance on me, like I don't think I'll ever be hired. So I'm very grateful to have the job that I have now, but um for the last I think two jobs that I've had because I've always had two jobs at once, starting to transition out of that, but for the jobs that I have had, it has been somebody taking a chance on me where I didn't have a whole bunch of experience in that area, but giving me the ability to learn in that field. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I would say it's pretty hard.
Well, and you bring up a good point because it is, it's the old conundrum of how can I get experience? I can't get hired because I don't have experience, but how can I get experience if I don't get hired? Which is always, that's again, that's an old trait trope. They were telling me that when I used to work jobs, like, well, you need more experience in this field. Well, fam, how I'm gonna get the experience if y'all don't, somebody got to give me a shot, and there's that.
Right.
And even in school, it is hard to work a full-time job in school. I remember I used to work, oh, I had the best job when I was in college, working janitorial because it was only a 4-hour shift. And we got paid really good money. And it really was like, as soon as you could finish cleaning, you had the rest of the time to just study or chill or whatever. So it only took me like an hour to clean the building. And I had 3 hours to do whatever I want. It was perfect. But yeah, getting out there and really getting into the real workforce, it is rough. So do you feel like, so for again, like I said, with your age group, like when you talk with your friends, or do you guys feel pressure like, man, like I talk about them old jobs, them they could just kind of work there for 40, 50 years. Like, do you really think those jobs still exist for y'all, or do you really have to be ready to kind of bounce to the quickest, the next one, better paying, better position, whatever? You feel like you're gonna have to bounce around more.
I think for me, like always wanted to hold myself to a higher standard. I had this thing where I did not want to work fast food or retail, and that was like just me. And then somebody was like, "Hey, that's kind of prideful." And they brought up like a good scenario where someone didn't have the best job at first, and now they're, the higher up. So I humbled myself and I got a job at Domino's. It lasted about 3 months, but I did get it. Just to say that I got it.
I mean,
And here we are now. But I will say that for Gen Z, like, because growing up in Michigan, I would always hear about General Motors and like everybody could just jump and do GM. But I think to get something in your specific field, it's a little bit more difficult being our age because especially for what you go to college for, a lot of people say college is a scam because you never get hired for what you went to school for. It's hard to get that right out the gate. Because I think that, I mean, a lot of times we're really looking to get jobs through like social media and things of the visual media space, just because like that's what our world is coming to now is technology. So having to get something outside of that, I think it is a little bit more difficult. Um, but yeah, just for our age group, I think that yeah, it's harder. It's harder to get one. Yeah.
well, now, and you brought up to my next point. So, what we do understand is for you guys, again, just so people know for sure, it's always kind of weird, these little generational things we say, but they call Gen Z born from 1997 to 2012. That's what they consider Gen Z. Now, I know this, by 1997, the internet was out. So that basically means this is the first generation born in the internet age. And then everything's that's come from that, right? Because I remember being in high school and the internet was just kind of like this, oh, we can get on computers and like I can, oh, look, get sports scores and look up something for books. So you guys were literally born in that. So that means that, and I always say this, it's more natural for you all to use computers in a way that nobody has done before in the history of mankind. So that means that a lot of work things, even if it's hard, it is hard for you guys, but the skill set is required. It'd be harder for a person like me or God, Lord have mercy, somebody older than me to be like, okay, yeah, learn Chat GBT and apply it and use your smartphone. And they're going to be like, wait, what? But you guys are more acclimated to it because it's just what you were born into. Maybe you
Mhm.
didn't have iPads in your hands yet. Quite, I don't know. Let me ask first. Like, do you remember when you first had a smartphone or an iPad?
Yes, I remember that season of my life. I
How
really
old were you then?
I must have been because yeah, my dad always had technology when it first came out, he always had it. So like I must have been mm, I think I was like 8.
Wow.
I think it was like 8 and I really wanted an iPhone, like the first one.
Okay, y'all. When I was 8, I had an Etch a Sketch. Okay, and you probably don't know what that
Okay.
is. Google it, young people. Etch a Sketch. That's what we compare. The real quick compare Etch a Sketch to an iPhone or an iPad. That's all you need to know right there. But so right. So now with that and the skill set now some of these young people now are literally, well, I mean, a lot of them are being taught in school coding and taught they're using iPads in school. Like crazy, even in our academy, kids all have laptops and stuff now. Like it was a
Mhm.
luxury. I remember going to what was back then a computer lab, and you had to go and wait your turn and get on the computer and stuff. So even with that advantage that you guys do have, it's still competitive because now everybody's into it. Everybody's into it in some kind of way. There's cybersecurity, there's all different kinds of things like that. Now, again, you having worked a little bit of retail, well, not retail, but in food service and things like that, I feel like I wish everybody could do that. And here's why I say why, and you help me with this if you agree. As much great as it is to be behind a computer screen, all of that, you still have to have some social interaction, at least at
Mhm.
this point. And you even working a couple months at Domino's, I feel like customer service, greeting people, knowing how. Do you feel like that helped you at all in your interactions?
Yes, because in my interview, I was asked about hospitality. And
Hmm.
like, even though I'm working with video, audio, all this other stuff, like, I still have to have the hospitality part of it down. And I'm grateful that I worked there so that I could say, well, yes, I did have some experience in that area.
Hmm.
Because like, I mean, it doesn't really matter what job you have, you're gonna have to communicate with somebody. So, I think it is still good having that some type of job where you do have to like interact and build your social skills, build how you talk to people, interact with people, and also build your tolerance because there are some people out there you just, it is what it is. I had a situation where I delivered a pizza and they were mad because cockroaches were on their pizza. I'm like, well, that's praise God. Not my fault, but guess what? Because I had to build my social skills, I made a whole new pizza and I drove it back to their house unpaid.
Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Where did the cockroaches come from?
Because you set the pizza on the ground, like when you deliver, when they don't want you to contact them or knock on their door or
Okay,
anything.
okay.
And apparently their complex was infested with cockroaches. I just see some dead ones laying around and I don't like bugs, so I set it down, I ran away. Apparently they got to their pizza.
What? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that.
I think they got a free pizza out of me because
Yeah, they
truthfully,
might need to get a free
yeah,
one. They might have to get a
that's
free
okay.
one. Yeah, yeah. I ordered ham and sausage, not ham and insects. But okay. But yes, see, so that's the thing. If I was an employer and young people are coming to me, that literally would be one of my questions. Have you worked a job? Because again, you just can't close the screen on a customer that's in your face. You gotta, they got a problem, they got a complaint. Again,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, listen, y'all, this is a world economy because people love to like kind of pull that on cops, like, or city officials. I pay your salary. Listen, we all pay each other's salary. It's a world economy. If we all stop going to Target tomorrow, Target's out of business. Okay, that's how it works. So you have to still, I really feel like that's important, even as much as automated as we are and things like that. So now, you got your job now, and here's the thing. about your job that I found was interesting. As much as you're working in the technology field and things like that, there is still some manual labor required in it, isn't there?
Very much so.
Yes.
Manual labor.
Yes. To the point you've actually gotten into the gym a little bit. Let's get all right.
Oh
Let's
my
tell us
gosh.
how that's going. Like, yeah, the deadlifts and the squats. What are we doing?
I'm lifting a lot of equipment, pushing a lot of equipment.
Okay.
I'm also juggling two positions at the moment. So a lot of, receiving of packages and things of that sort.
Yeah.
Um, I think, that it's helped me getting into the gym, to be able to do those things because I am the only woman at my job, the only one. So it's like I have to hold I have to pull my weight.
Yeah.
Like they're already looking at me like, okay, is she even capable of doing this? Um, so yeah, I can't be questioned on the job. Um, I do have to work on my grip strength though. That's, one of the things. But as far as like lifting and pushing and whatever, like I have to hold my own. So yeah.
Now, okay, before we're gonna transition, but before we do, you just brought up something. Now, even in 2024, now maybe I don't know if anybody's, I doubt somebody would literally come to your face and say that, but you just brought up something that you're the only woman there, and you do kind of feel like even still, like I gotta let even if it's just kind of a veiled kind of a look, I'm sure nobody just told you you're a girl, you can't do this, but you do kind of feel like you want to show them I can do the job just like everybody else. And I'm sure they hired you thinking that, but it's still kind of an implicit thing, even in 2024, which, you know, I'm not saying even in your situation, like not that it's bad, because again, I don't think you're not saying somebody treated you bad, but you still want to feel like I am just as capable as everybody else. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that stems from just being in my field, period. Because even in school, every single class I was in, I was the only one or like one of two. But most of the time, I was the only woman. Like that was it. So it was always all eyes on me because like everybody wanted to see, like, okay, can she bring to the table what everybody else is? So yeah, like going in like having that experience and then transitioning into my job, um, it was like the same mindset because it's not like people say it, but I can tell, especially like the way that people treat you. Like I still look 16. Um, so like inadvertently, like I'm almost being treated as like I don't know what I'm doing, but it's like, but I do know what I'm doing, but it's hard to kind of like vocalize that or say that in a way where it's not like disrespectful
Right.
um and like not prideful, but it's like, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's not like they come out right and say it, but having experience in that, like I could just tell.
Yeah. And so, because again, you're doing a lot of audio visual, a lot of technology stuff, and at a property, um, and just with the, and so do you feel like there's room, and I always ask people this, do you feel like where you are, there's room to grow? Like you can maybe move up a little bit, or is this just more so for the experience?
Definitely. I did not think I would ever see this dollar per hour in my life. I really, no, seriously, when I was like looking for jobs, max I seen was $18 an hour. And I'm like, oh wow, that's great. $18. And then I went to calculate how to make six figures. And I'm like, $40 an hour is not even six figures. So where are people making this type of money? And yeah, when I got the job, I was like, wow, I did not think I would ever see this in my life. And then I started to like being around those people, they have connections, they have information. And so you start hearing like, oh no, so and so is making $10 more. Whoa. Okay. So I know there's room to grow. I'm just getting my feet wet, but like the more that I build connections, build rapport, I know I'm gonna get up to that point. So yeah.
Yeah, and okay, and that's the last. We're supposed to be talking about some other stuff, but this is really good. That's the last part of that is, the connective part. right? And I know, like we talk about, so many things are on our phones and on the computers, but to be able to talk to somebody and be personable with them, show them your personality, show them who you are, that referral process, they'll be like, they'll be in a room you might not be in. And man, we need such and such. Oh, I know somebody, such a that
Hmm.
that's just never to me going to be the same as just Skyping with a person or I got a Facebook friend. I don't know them that well to be putting my reputation. Like I need to talk to you, speak to you, shake your hand, and then I can be like, okay, yeah, that's my people.
Hmm.
That's the part of it that I hope these younger folks getting in the workforce understand. Like you still, even I know you can do an interview on Skype and all that stuff, but when it comes to referral time and another person have to speak for you, it's so much better when I can be like, no, I've actually met this person. I know what they're talking about. So
Hmm.
that's a key part there. You're talking about the networking and the getting to know, in the business, in the field that you're in. That is key. I can't stress it enough. Okay, so guys, real quick as well, she is a dual threat. So she's working now. She's in the workforce. She's probably doing her thing. But if you follow us a little bit, actually right now, the intro of the show is a little Jingle Bells thing. But if you've heard the intro going back, you've heard a little bit, a little snippet. You've heard little snippets from my show of somebody rapping, and 99% of the time it's Doda rapping. So everybody knows that's her voice, all that. She is also an artist, and she's got a little surprise for us guys. So as this is dropping on Friday, Doda, tell us what else is dropping on today on Friday.
I do have a song coming out. It is called "Tis the Season." It is on SoundCloud at Doda. Um, it
Really,
is the long-awaited Christmas song that everybody's
very
been
long
asking for.
awaited. Yes.
Funny enough, I realized because I was making my separate Christmas playlist, and I'm like, there's not a lot of Christmas rap. There's not a lot,
No.
you know? And I was like, I need to contribute to that. So
Yeah.
I might make a album or EP in the near future for Christmas, but um yeah, I do have a song coming out.
It's an untapped space. I'll tell you that. I mean, Run DMC, Christmas
Run
Time House
DMC.
Queens. It's not very many like signature rap songs for Christmas. So,
Yeah.
guys, right after you finish listening to us, go on SoundCloud, Doda Doda, check out the new Christmas track. Please show some love. And then in the spring,
Early spring.
tell us what else is coming, Doda, please.
Um, I have 95% of my EP finished, which will be on Apple Music and Spotify and YouTube and all those other platforms.
Awesome.
Um, and then shortly after that will be the deluxe version of that
Right?
mixtape.
And then we're going on tour. So here's the thing,
Oh,
as A&R for Doda, this is what I stress with her is, you know, I want her to put out projects with a little more, a little more promotion is what we'll call it, because a lot of times she'll just drop something on a Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. and
yeah,
it's
and
like,
that's fine with me.
let's let the people know it's coming. So we want, a little more promotion. So get ready, guys. I will continue to update y'all as that day approaches for the spring release, which we will be excited for the EP coming out. But so really quick, let's talk on the rap career as well, because I feel like even we just talked about Christmas, but I still feel like um in Christian rap, I don't know if for women. Now there's a big push in contemporary rap. Like women are a lot, they're kind of running the show right now.
Hmm.
Gorilla, couple people, some people I don't rock with. I'm not even gonna say that. But there is. But I feel like in the Christian rap space, it's not, which is why I'm always pushing her, y'all, to put stuff out. Um, and of course, I'm a little biased. I just feel like her talent is that good. So, do you really see yourself at some point really making a real breakthrough in your career as an artist as well? Do you see it?
Somewhat. Somewhat. I mean, I started music as a way to like, growing up, girls would have like diaries. Mine, I would just write. And like that's like write poems and music. Like that's how I started. So for me, this was like a way to get stuff off of my chest. It was like my journal, my, diary in a sense. So this is like a hobby to me, and I didn't have enough space on my laptop for files. So I was like, oh, let me just put it on SoundCloud to save space. That probably wasn't the smartest thing because obviously the app would anyway. So yeah, I don't know how somebody found my stuff and then shared it, and then like everybody knew about it, and I was like, oh, okay, here we are. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm confident in my stuff. I don't think my stuff is trash. I think that if I was in a booth, then a real production booth, I think that I could get somewhere. But I'm just here with this mic in my room. But yeah, I think I could. As far as like the artist persona, I'm not there, I'm just me.
Okay, well, okay, let's cut to the chase. Are you better than Wande?
Uh that's not her name anymore, but yeah, sure.
Oh, we gonna stand on 10. We gonna stand on business. Clip
Do
this
not release
no.
that. I don't know
Clip
because
this
I'm not in a
one.
competition with anybody.
Out there. Okay, this is a rap game, fam. I don't care. This is competitive in rap. We're not talking about classical music. We're not even though in classical music they was beefing too back in the day. But hey, what's up? We standing 10 toes down. Whatever. That's good. She is very skilled, but she wants to release it for her to hear and then really doesn't care about anybody else hearing it, which is
100%.
insane. That's where we clash the most. But we're gonna really put some heavy promotion into this EP when it comes out because we want as many people to hear it. I mean, it took literally all of my strength. I was exhausted the last time I was with her at an artist event just to get her to say hello to so many influential artists. Like y'all, I mean, literally, I had to lay down. I was so exhausted. She she is not that much in weight. I mean, she's about a buck oh five, but my goodness, to push her in the direction of people with some influence more than
I'm
whew,
an introvert at heart.
good
It's
gracious.
not easy to just be like, hey, this is me. Like,
I mean,
I,
I had to get a massage. My muscles were
that's crazy.
so, okay, guys, that's the show. Get the E. Okay, no, I'm sorry. First, right after this, now we're about to end. Go to SoundCloud/Doda and check out the new Christmas. Come on, man, while you making that Christmas turkey we was talking about, get some spins going on that. And as well, please give your plugs. Where can the fans find more Doda at?
You can find me on Instagram at underscore it's Doda. Um, I'm on SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, all of that fun stuff at Doda. Um,
Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do, but it is a vlogging channel for those who are into vlogs. It
Pretty
is
soon,
called
y'all, she'll have a music YouTube channel. She's just jiving. Don't worry. We'll get that going too.
okay. I'm not searchable by Doda just yet. So if you look up Doda Nation, I will pop up. If you look up Spender Nation, I still funnily will still pop up with that. But
Right. So we're slow and steady. We're getting there, guys. We are getting there. Of course, this is the 12 days of podcasting, day six. We are churning. I told I'm gonna do y'all right for the end of the year. Get y'all these shows in. We got some more coming. Got another great guest lined up as well. I'll keep that to the best till it happens, but keep with us, man. Please. We appreciate all the love, you know what I'm saying? The likes, the subscribes, all that stuff. You know where you are. Mighty Sharp Network, Channel 5. Guys, I want you to be blessed and stay sharp. Thank you, Doda.
bye.